I would not have invited other people to come and join in the Gemi Festival because those were Kikuyu songs, people celebrating their culture, their identity, and loving it and singing all the way.
So, Mr. Gachagua, when you were in the United States of America, we can see that a lady from your audience, in fact, put this clear to you, and maybe we can watch this clip and see what she had to say about that.
Need Mheshimiwa to start positioning yourself as a national leader, not as a tribal leader. And I know many people won't like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. The first mistake that has been done in this event is speaking Kikuyu. I watched a speech about you in Boston, and the speech was a good speech, but there's something you said that Kikuyus tuko economic, are more hardworking, paraphrasing, economic, we've grown the country. But we have done that because we are a beneficiary of the system of Jomo Kenyatta.
Are you able to put my reply?
Okay, please do that right now.
To start with, my forums were not a praise and worship session. I didn't want people to come and praise and worship me and agree with me 100%. I was very happy to have negative criticism and had an opportunity to explain to the young girl that when I speak to people, my work is to give them hope and to give them encouragement. When I met some Mount Kenya people in Boston, they are business people there, I had to affirm them and say what is their place in our growth of our economy. And I'm very happy that the same industry I see back home is what I see here in Boston. And you must continue with that spirit. Those people who I met in Boston were from the Mount Kenya. I speak their language. I had no business speaking to them in English because I was in Boston. The fact that I was in Boston did not make me English. I was still Kikuyu. They were all Kikuyus. They had called me for a boozy in a traditional way because I'm an elder. And they said, we have an organization here from home. We want you to come as an elder. We give you mbuzi. And when I rose to speak to them, I spoke to them in our language.
I think this is one of the reasons why some of your party members felt that you should be impeached, because they felt that this shareholding narrative is too divisive for the country. And please let us watch what you said.
Hii serikali ni kampuni na ni ya shares. Si ndio? Ni ya shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana. Sasa nyinyi mliinvest kwa hii kampuni ya William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua. Sasa lazima mvune. Yule ambaye alipanda atafanya nini? Si mlipanda? Si mliamuka mapema? Mukasema mutaki kusikia mambo ya ile system na nini? Muka-invest, mukapanda, mukapalilia, mukaweka mbolea, mukamwagilia maji, wakati ya kuvuna ndio huu. Najua wengine wananikashifu ati mimi nasema ati wale walipanda wavune kwanza. Iko makosa? Iko makosa? Hata hao watavuna, lakini wangoje. Si wale walipanda ndio wavune kwanza? Wakishavuna wavune, ile tabaki kidogo, wale wakupanda waingie, watafute huko nini, ile tapatikana wachukue, wakwende.
Please explain to us now, how does this work? How does this work?
This matter has been taken out of context. Government formation is a process. And a coalition government is formed based on an agreement. I sat down with William Ruto and on behalf of the mountain people, negotiated our expectation from his government. And he negotiated the votes he wanted from our region. And he did negotiate with me that he wanted 70% of our votes. And in exchange, he would give us 40% of the government. It was not written, it was a gentleman's agreement. He sat down with the people of Western Kenya. They were wiser than me. They demanded an agreement. He demanded 70% of their vote. They demanded 30% of government. He sat with Kingi from the coast, and Kingi demanded certain things. that will be done when government is formed. I was simply following the honoring of that agreement. That what was promised and what was agreed on must be honored. And I was saying, we made an agreement that we are investing in this government. And this is our expectation. And it is not that it is anything that I was coming out from the blue. It was an agreement that was negotiated, and I was insisting that that agreement should be honored. Other people are not insisting on the honoring of that agreement. I was under a lot of pressure from the people I negotiated on their behalf, that what we agreed on should be honored. And that is when William Ruto turned against me because he didn't want to honor what we had agreed. And luckily for me, and it's a mistake that I made that I have to live with, I didn't insist on a written agreement. It was a gentleman's agreement. Nevertheless, even a verbal agreement in law is acceptable.
What would you tell the Gen Zs that think that you are tribal, those that think that you are an ethnic extremist and not a national leader?
I am saying it's not 100% Gen Zs who think I'm tribal. Many of them think I am a great leader, I'm a nationalist. And that's when you come to my meetings, it's full of Gen Zs. And I actually give them a chance to speak. But that does not mean that girl has no right to speak. She has a right to have a contrary opinion. I'm a Democrat myself. I cannot force her to say that I'm a nationalist. If she thinks I'm not a nationalist, she's entitled to her own opinion.
Right, so
but I did draw her attention to the fact that Gen Zs back at home, are my people, they are my supporters, because they understand me and they know that I'm not tribal. It's only that that narrative has been driven, and her being away and not knowing what is going on here in Kenya when she's in the States, she has bought that narrative. But I did persuade her that that is not the case.